Welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict and Eric Shamalov joining you live to right when the fake unemployment number came out, and private jobs slightly weaker, regular jobs somehow stronger by a lot. So ADP is off the chisel. Um, their their numbers are actually ridiculous and a waste of time. Number is strong. I
100%.
don't know why. I don't know why that's good for the dude. Every number is good for the market. If the number came in weak today, it'd be good. If the number came in strong today, it would be good. Rates are getting doused. You know, the 10 years back to 435. To me, this is negative, but obviously it's positive. So I'm going to throw it to you early on, get us started.
Yeah,
But it's just funny to me.
I always found it funny when
Hang on. Let me finish for once. I'm looking at bonds down a stick. The numbers are absolutely not real, and the markets rallied 20 days in a row, and they beat by 40,000 jobs, which should be a negative, and they're interpreting it as a positive. So it's very, very, very weird. And the market grinds higher, same old thing, on to the next day. So we'll see. But I actually think I'm going to establish some decent sized short positions for my ETF on the opening this morning. And, that's where I sit. But, we can kind of break these numbers down, which are really impossible to figure out. Can't figure them out. And the S&P is basically at a new figure of 6,300. It was at 6,200, 6,100, 6,000, 5,300, 4,800, and it's moving at warp speed in a slow manner. So that's what we got here, and I'll throw it to you, and I'll let you go over what your thoughts are and on another bullish day.
another bullish day. That's a good one. Warp speed. What was that? Warp speed at turtle's pace or whatever.
Warp speed at
Uh,
a turtle's pace.
that's a good one. So yeah, jobs come in good. By the way, ADP rarely is in line with the NFP number that we saw today.
It used to
Last year
always
had a
be. It used to always be in the line, but okay, now it's not.
yeah. So I don't know whether it's a methodology thing or they're measuring different things. I know ADP is only private payroll, NFP is private and government, but they're different. And I always found it funny with trading if you have a short position on and the jobs number comes in good and the market rallies. It's like, well, how's it good? The rates are going to go up and all that. I think it's always good when the jobs number goes up and exceeds
Why?
expectations
Why?
because it means we're nowhere near a recession. You don't get recession
I'm not worried
when people.
about. I'm not worried about a recession. I'm worried about basically raising rates. There's no rate cut coming. Okay, now
By the
we're
way, rates really popped today on that news. Yep.
yeah, they're at 435. What do you? First of all, somebody had it because when we had the jolt, we had the ADP number, which was really light. Bonds were down a point that day. We were talking about it. So somebody had this number, and I am putting on shorts pretty big this morning. I haven't been. For the subscriber, we're going to go a bit lighter. Me personally, I'm putting it on today. You know, Obviously it's a slow day, so I'm gonna, ease into it. But this is there's nothing you can say that other than this is insanity. I mean, insane move. We're 40. What is 4,800 to 6,300 is 2,500 points. What's 2,500 points on 48? I mean, you're talking almost 40%, or maybe 1,500. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 32%. We're off the low. It's pretty crazy in
Yeah.
two, in 2 months. In 2 months. So, um, you know, um,
I wonder if that's the quickest rebound and the biggest rebound. Maybe it's both.
Maybe. No, I mean, we've seen this a couple of times, maybe not to this extent, but I just don't know what's so good about the number. Like, what is so good? What did they think that? Let me ask you a question, honestly, the dead honest truth. Okay. If the market had a negative number today, you think the market would have went down today? Not a chance.
No,
Not a chance.
that's the funny
Right.
thing, right?
So that's the funny thing. It doesn't matter. This is what, I've told you this. This is my true opinion. This is what a bubble is all about. It's about just this. It's about not, no matter what, you know, um, you know, the market just wants to go higher. Like for example, take a look at gold today, down $30. Okay, gave back almost most of the move of the week. It is bouncing a little bit here, but it could go down 50 today. Uh, I don't know why. Now they're looking that rates are going higher is a bad thing for gold. I don't. I mean, rates. We got a problem, and they're about to pass the big beautiful bill. I mean, they've been trying since 11 o'clock last night. I mean, here's the funny thing: they were running on TV. There were 4 or 5 Republicans guys from the House that they had on saying, I'll never vote for this bill, blah, 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 and then they voted for it. So like, is it they want airtime? Is that what it is? They just want airtime on TV, you know? Um, I don't know. So, markets are insanity. I think we're going to sell off. I'm hoping we hold up now. Um, dollar actually is a little bit stronger today. So that's a good thing.
That could be the rate move. The 30 years really moved on this, and I think it was in a great
You want
technical
to know what
spot.
though? But if you're looking
Yeah,
at the curve, Eric, if you're looking at the curve right now, really it's coming at the top end or the shortest end of the curve, and the middle end of the curve is moving way more. And 10 years and 30s are almost down the same amount, which basically means, in my mind, the way the shift is coming here is that there is no the July rate cut is off the board. Um, off the board.
it should have never been on the board.
But
Uh,
it's now off the
I
board.
can't believe it was on the board.
Why? If
There
we had
was
a
actually
negative number, maybe they could do it. But right now, that's off the board. I'm just surprised. I don't understand the positive reaction to this because really, yes, jobs came in line. Listen, there is how many zillions of people. It's better by 40,000. It's not really crazy better, but it puts the Fed in a place that you don't want them to be. And that place is that they can't make a move. So that's what I see here. The markets have run significantly. Um, you know what? I'm going to do something maybe on the air. Do 40 up in SPX for Monday, 40 and 60. Yes, I'm not even going to wait for the opening. Now you can trade pretty much equity indexes the during the night and during the day. So you know, we're going to have to do something now because I don't know if the market's going to make the opening. I think we might turn negative before the opening. Look at gold now, son, down 40. It's going to be down
yep.
50 on the body. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy. I'm dancing.
Are you
And I
short? Are
definitely
you
think
short
that
gold? I
I'm,
wouldn't bank. I mean, I
I'm
wouldn't
short.
bank on
What are you talking
down
about?
day.
I'm short gold. What, are you not paying attention to our podcast? I've been telling you I'm short gold. I'm
I
been
thought you
short.
got stopped out yesterday. I don't know.
I'm not trading gold futures. I'm trading defined risk options. That's what
I
we're
got
doing.
it.
We
I
got it.
got it.
Anyway, Thomas, what's taking you so long?
No, what you wanted for the ETF, right?
No, Thomas, I want it for what would I want it for?
The guys, the separate.
Why would I want SPX for the guys when we have a futures
You want
account?
10 or
All good. Listen,
10 or 20?
40 up from here and 20 points.
410 by 450.
All right, sell 40 at 410.
Share
It's out.
share the trade, man. What are you doing?
Selling for Monday 50 points higher in S&P. Some options. Just get it done.
Nice. Call spreads. Credit
Yeah, call
calls.
spread. I think we're going to fade hard today. It's higher.
And what premium are you getting out for Monday?
Like
Is it good?
yeah, $4 on
Filled
an
at 430.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably too aggressive, but that's my need. I haven't done really much on the short side in the whole move. So
What is that? That's $4 on a 20 wide
yeah, in
in
SPX.
future.
No, in
Oh, in
SPX.
SPX. I got it.
Mm. Anyway, so let's look at this because now bonds are stabilizing a little bit. So, but they've really set the table for no rate cut. They've set the table now. Here's how I read the market. And other than being a little stressed out today for some strange reason, I don't know why. But here's how I read the market. I read the market in a way that it's priced for utter perfection, beyond utter perfection. Okay, they got the big beautiful bill. They think that's good. It's really going to add a lot to the debt, and it's really a bad bill. The more I look at it, and the more they're cutting all insurance benefits. I mean, to what? To spend more money, to give tax breaks, to keep tax breaks going. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like they're giving up so much for so little. So you know, we we have we have that going. That's been looked at as a big positive, right? You have trade deals coming with every dude. Listen, what is today? July 3rd?
Mhm.
July 3rd, we got July 9th, 6 days. They got to do 77 trade deals in 6 days. Okay.
Now
I
that
was watching Dan
that's
Ives last night. Okay. He's a Wedbush analyst, technology. Pretty
he's
good.
good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty good.
and he's funny.
So, so what he was saying last night, they're like, well, it doesn't look like they're going to get any trade deals done, or very few. He goes, oh, they'll just kick the can down the road till September. So basically, the market has it priced in that Trump will taco again, which he probably will. But if he doesn't taco, that's not in the market. That's not in the market that he just throws a fit and just says screw all these countries. And all these countries, if you really look at it, they're slow playing Trump. They're just slow. You don't think they're slow playing this guy?
No.
Okay. Okay. What do you think they're doing? They're not
If
running.
they were, why would
Well,
they
they don't have
slow
a
play
deal,
him?
so they obviously are slow playing them.
Okay, yeah, obviously. Maybe it's obviously not too, because why would they be slow playing him if these tariffs are still in place? So they're gonna slow play him to get tariffed longer?
Dude, they're
It
not in
doesn't.
place. They pushed the tariffs down, and they pushed it back to July 9th. The full tariffs come back July 9th. Okay. But we're now July 3rd, and it's not like the EU has done a deal. Okay. It's not even like Canada has done a deal. And you've said it a couple of times on this podcast, which you probably subliminally said it because you're always bullish about everything. But you literally said on the podcast that he doesn't want to do deals. He wants the revenue. He needs the revenue. Da 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 da.
Right.
So the bottom line is, if they wanted trade deals, they'd be done. That's all I could tell you. They'd be done.
Yeah.
He announced yesterday, and the market rallied on this, of course,
That what
a
you
deal
just
with
said.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
A
What you
deal
just
with
said.
Vietnam. That's a big one. Deal with Vietnam.
What you just said, I think that's what's priced into the market, and that's why I think it taco or not, I think the market is just past
Right,
tariffs
and
for now.
and listen, finally, it's freaking the last day of the week. It's a beautiful, big, beautiful holiday tomorrow, and we're actually agreeing. Okay, you actually agreed with me and didn't even know you did, because I'm saying everything is priced into the market on a positive level, and you just said everything is priced in that they're going to do all these things. And so, to me, looking at the risk in the market is now skewed to them having some type of hiccup on some type of thing. Okay,
Yeah,
and
so I agree with that too. But where's the hiccup? That's where I think you think it'll be, a tariff headline. I think it's
I don't think
going to
it's going
be
to be no. I'm
a couple
going.
of high inflation prints a little bit later in this quarter where they realize, holy crap, tariffs have this lag effect to inflation. All it's
Dude, I
going to
don't even
take,
think I don't even think at this point the Fed needs inflation. They can't move because the jobs numbers are too strong. Inflation is just so secondary to anything. So even if the inflation number comes
for
in at
now,
230, 2.3, whatever, they're not going to cut because they have strong jobs market, too strong. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And what I'm saying to you is after a 33% move, the market again is moving up, which we're fading as we're on the air, okay, which I don't think we're even going to make it to the opening today. That, no, I think the market's going to be the other side of unchanged on the opening. I mean, that's not a huge call. They're up 10 handles, but it's,
that would follow the typical trajectory after a fake economic report comes out.
yeah.
It always reverts. I mean, you talk about priced in, economic indicator, all these reports that come out, we're all like anticipating and waiting on the edge of our seat. They're all priced in. And the algos just take over after the number. No human is quick enough to react to this in milliseconds. And so the algos take over, the humans follow, and then you get a real good shot at reversal. So if we do sit on the other side of unchanged, like you said, by the open, would that really surprise me or you? I don't think it would.
Listen, any down day will surprise me. I want all my subscribers to check this out, okay? I'm going to go until one index. I only one out of the three I look at, not including Russell. So Dow, S&P, and Nasdaq closes down 1% on the day. That doesn't seem like a lot if we just rallied 32%. The market just rallied 32% off the low. We're looking for a 1% down day to get to shave this beard, okay? So that's what I'm going to do unless my
You're
wife
gonna get that. You're gonna get that next week, and I think you're gonna get that next week.
How
Otherwise, you
do I
wouldn't
know?
say
I
it.
don't know what, Eric. I don't know anything, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have one decent red day next week.
Dude,
The
I
reason
am
I
going
say
out on the limb that we're
that
gonna
it's just gonna go
definitely
up
be
again through the summer.
we're gonna be down on the year. Okay. I just don't know when that's gonna happen and how that's gonna happen. But this market is like today, think about it. They ran the market on a jobs number that's better as the bonds were rinsing again. Like, when is it going to matter? What rates matter?
Harry,
None.
they ran the market higher. I mean, how many points did they run the market higher?
Eric,
5
25.
points.
25. No, I'm sorry. Absolutely wrong. They ran the market up basically 25 points. Whatever it is, it's up every day. It was up 30 yesterday on air. It was up
That was
30
just
the
the
day
futures
before on air.
rallying all night. That was
Dude,
just the
listen,
futures
listen.
rallying all.
You're the only guy that no move matters, dude. When Ethereum goes down 35%, you're fine. When the S&P moves 20 points, you're fine. Dude, the move in S&P of $20 now or $30 is freaking epic if it's down. If it's down. And as we're on the air, we're coming in, which is interesting. And I don't think the market is going to make the opening, meaning like I think we're going to open to the red side today. I don't think I think the market's over-owned by public. It's funny. Let's look at this.
Totally
The
bullish.
market went from 50. First of all, do you want to know something funny? A week ago, Sunday night, so it's a week and 2 trading days ago, the market was at 59.30. We've just ran 400 points or almost 10% since last week. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a nice move. It's been
What?
nice. It's been a good move.
What I'm saying though is that we were talking about, or you were talking about, where public got in the market, and we figured it out at 58 or 5,900, right? In size. They keep getting in now. They're in here now. Maybe their price average is 61. I don't know where that is, but they continually keep buying. The MOC market on close imbalances have been insanity. Every day, a billion to buy, a billion to buy. The S&P traded record low volume yesterday. There was no volume and they snuck the market up 30. That's what's going on. So what did I call it when we got on the air? It's an explosion, but it's like moving in backwards speed.
You said warp speed at a turtle's pace.
Yeah.
That was
I
a good
think
one.
I'm looking at some stocks here. I think Tesla looks like a short to me. It's up again, small. I don't understand it. They ran $15 yesterday off of, maybe the number was better than the whisper, but weaker, growth, and the trajectory is the negative for the first time in the history of the company. That looks interesting. Things are starting to look interesting, you know. So we'll see. You
Well,
know,
we hit contract highs on the September ES contract on this news today.
Dude, you got to
So
stop
we
with
have
that.
that.
That
I
isn't.
told you.
Actually, it's embarrassing that you're even saying that.
Oh,
I
really? Okay.
appreciate it. It doesn't matter, Eric. You know what? Go now and look 3 years out. The contract is $190 higher. Okay, because there's a cost to carry. What we didn't hit
Right.
contract highs out 2 years, so
You
because
got
you
to
never
make up the
will.
cost. You
But
got
I'm
to
just
make up the
saying,
cost to
if
carry,
if
don't you?
and no, no, you do
No.
not. That is zero to do with anything. No trader or no technician is looking at a futures price on an
Okay.
all-time high when there's a cost to carry involved. Go out 2 years. Tell me where the futures are. Go
Well,
to
it
S
hit
and
that
P.
level. So.
Go to S&P 2 year out. That means you have to carry the basket for 2 years. It's probably 6,400. I mean, I don't know what that has to do with anything. Everybody's trading the cash, the futures market. I mean, great, it made a new high, but I don't think it is really meaningful. The cash on our end would
Here,
have to make.
I'm gonna share this chart with you. You asked about the point of control, where the volume, where everybody kind of bought in during this run up over the last couple of weeks. It's again, as bullish as you think I am. This stuff I
Mhm.
don't like when they're kind of buying the high, and there was a lot of volume up here. So to me, 62.45 is kind of a must hold for the ES.
I don't know.
60.
Listen, retail's been buying every day. Every single day. There's not a day that goes by that they're not buying. Want to check out something interesting, and I haven't looked at it. And I got this stock when it went public through a private deal with a guy who is one of the largest shareholders. And we got to buy Robinhood at $30 a share. And we were actually losing on it. Okay. It's now made a record high at $93. Okay. Why do you think that is, Eric?
Retail.
Right.
Retail. But they
They're
got a great
buying at
platform.
epic. Here's the thing that's interesting. They're buying at record levels, right? They're buying at record levels. That's facts, okay? As we talked about before we got on the air. Okay? The fact is they're buying at record levels, okay? And the stock is going higher and higher because they're seeing massive retail flow. And to me, if that's not a red flag in this market, what's a red flag? What's a red flag? Tell me what a red flag is.
It is. These I agree with all of your red flags. The the question is when. When is the
Doesn't
market
matter
going to
when. I mean, it matters when for our
kind of
trading, but
matter?
I keep saying this, and I keep you know really having to go over this over and over again when I'm on with you because somehow I believe we trade totally different. Okay,
We trade
and you
totally
can
different.
and the beauty of what I do, besides being a subscriber, you could see my return and my positions every day on my websites. So they're out there for the public to see. I'm out there. You're hidden somewhere. Okay. My stuff is all out there. Okay. But I am trading for today. Okay. We're trading with a long term horizon, and I'm very opinionated, as you can see. And I've been not right. Okay. Which, in trading, the beauty of trading is you can't lie about your P&L unless you lie. Okay. So your P&L speaks. My P&L is out there every single day. It's been out there every single day since 2000 to the public, through accountants and etc. Okay. But the bottom line is what I want my subscribers and people listening to do here is we want to build the P&L. Okay, we look at things day in and day out. So for me today, if the market's up 10 and we end down 30, we're going to have a great day. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, you look at it, I guess, differently. You're looking at it in a longer term motion. I'm looking at it in short term. So like, I want to grind my P&L, grind
I
my
don't know about
P&L. And when I'm up money, just hear me out. When I'm up money, I want to get much more aggressive and I want to pounce. Okay. We haven't had the ability to do that in a month and a half, which, a month and a half in trading terms is like a lifetime. That's why I'm, got a beard and I'm graying up. But if you recall, January, February, and March, and you can never live in the past because we're only in the present, were unbelievable trading months with 100+ trades, trading 10 trades a day. Markets were going crazy, volatility was up, and now we're in this turtle where the market just grinds higher, grinds higher, grinds higher. And you say, we're going to go lower at some point in time, which I 100% agree with, but I got to come up with ways today to chop out P&L to make money for the subscribers and people that invest with me. And that's what I try to do, and that's the answer to.
what I've been impressed with by you, and I know we argue a lot, and it's a lot of fun. But with all the stuff that you're saying, I think it's a great example for people because you hear our opinions, but trading on a day to day basis is completely different. Um, and yeah, even though you've been maybe on the wrong side of the macro, I feel like you've been chopping wood
Yeah, no, I
for.
mean, for the subscriber base, we're not doing well. But our losses are contained to like $3 and the market went up 32%. So I know people hate me and they're throwing darts at me and whatever. Okay, but they've got to respect the fact that we've only put on 4 or 5 trades during this time and they haven't worked out with defined risk. And when the market does turn, whether it's today or next week, which it will, we're gonna be able to capture the downside for 10% and make that up in spades. And that's what people have to understand. And in many of my products, we promise to give a trade a week, a trade, a month, whatever. We've so eclipsed that. The only problem that happens is as new subscribers come in, they see not a lot of activity if they came in the last month and a half. So you just have to be patient. But we'll be there to pounce. I think today could be an interesting day. I would be shocked if there wasn't stock for sale on the close. They've been buying every day. I think there are just a lot of red flags out there. The retail public cannot be right for that long. And they've been right for, they missed, listen to this. They never sold on the bottom, but they missed buying for 1,000 S&P points at least. Okay. So let's say it was 1,100. Okay. We're only 350 points higher, which is a lot. It's like 5%. They caught the last 5% of this move. But, if we come in 3 to 5%, they're going to be scrambling and having to sell. But also, I would keep an eye on the big stocks here. The big stocks are what you got to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the big stocks. Um, and you'll get a good handle. You saw a little profit taking on the first day of the quarter where people came out of Nasdaq. The trade, literally, you were, as a friend of mine would say, you were peacocking around, with
I
your
wasn't
feathers,
peacocking.
with your
I wasn't
feathers out,
peacocking.
and that trade lasted.
Because you took it out of me. You took it out of me. I had to a little bit.
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm just saying those trades don't even last. I mean, that trade is all fully reversed. The Dow is basically.
What I tell you that day, I'm already out. I saw
I
that it was
understand, but
just
you're
damn.
trading something that you could make 5% on for 40 basis points. So it's a good trade. I keep looking at this. DAX S&P. I kind of think you want to be short S&P and long DAX here. We really clipped that trade for 6 or 7%. So that was way more than I thought we would make, but we pointed that out. I like the gold short here. I want to get aggressive if it falls more today. I'm going to roll out a position there. The dollar, we're still down money on it against the euro. It just
That's the
doesn't
one I
feel
want to get more aggressive on. The
really.
dollar.
I,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with the dollar. I don't know what's wrong with the dollar.
I think
Okay.
look, we talked about you're still in your euro short, right? I hope.
Yeah, but it's not working. I'm down money on it. I mean, I've made back a point, but we're down a point.
A
It's
point
not
is a lot. Yeah, I'm adding to that probably today.
a point is a lot. I mean, a point usually isn't a lot. Last year, we made in our product, the OFX or our currency trading product, we made well over 1,000 points on the year. Okay, which is epic. This year we're down slightly, but
What
last
do you
year we
mean
made
1,000 points on the forex product?
yeah
What does that
over
mean 1,000 points? You made
a
a
thousand
thousand pips.
points. I'm talking about 100 points, so 100 points. So we had probably 12
Okay.
trades that we made 200 pips on the euro. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah. So
we
what do you think about the euro here?
I just told you
I'm thinking about adding the short.
I'm not as comfortable as you. I mean, getting closer to even, I don't love it. I don't love it. The dollar should be way stronger than this. It's funny. I was looking at something someone put out this morning, and the dollar on the euro is down 13% in like 2 months. Okay. I mean, these are epic moves, dude. That's what no one is realizing. That's like almost a devaluation of your currency. And we're the
Yeah.
king currency
Not
of the
almost.
world. And
I
then
think that's
as this is
yeah.
happening, the stock market can't go down. It just can't go down. It's like there's a nuclear bomb in the market to buy it every single day, and something's going to give. And I know, listen, they're going to have 14 trade deals in the next 4 days. Okay? They've had none since they rolled back this thing 3 months. Okay? They rolled it back 3 months. 3 months they couldn't get a trade deal. Oh wait, they got a trade deal with Vietnam. I mean, come on. That's actually comical, okay? That country has zero, okay? And nothing, okay? I mean, wouldn't it be good to do a trade deal with Canada or Mexico or the
Very
the
good.
EU or Japan, which he basically lambasted about 2 days ago? Like none of those deals matter, but he's peacocking out on a Vietnam trade deal. I mean, come on, dude. And he's going to do a trade deal with China, Japan, the EU, Canada, and Mexico in the next 4 days. They're all going to be done. Comprehensive. I mean, come on. I don't know how you don't realize that the EU doesn't want to sign on to 20% tariffs. Why would they? Why would the EU sign on
I
to
think they
20?
would sign up. I actually disagree. I think they would
Okay.
sign up for 20%.
So
Yeah,
then it should be
because
signed.
the
That's
last proposal.
what do you mean? That's what they wanted on the last proposal. So they didn't sign it.
No, they wanted they wanted 10%, and if they're negotiating, they know that Trump is probably going
Who
to
is
up it.
negotiating? That's what I want to know. Trump is negotiating while he's doing the big bill, seeing people begging them to vote for it every day,
Trump,
and he's negotiating deals time in and time out. He's negotiating deals. Okay, whatever you say, dude.
what
Okay,
do you
you
think
go.
these deals are actually actually going to look like? Yeah, I think they're going to look like somewhere between what we saw with Vietnam and something between that and China. I think the market knows that it's going to be tariffs are
Why is
definitely
that
here to.
good? Why is that good? I'm just trying to understand what's good about that.
I didn't. I don't know.
I don't
I didn't say
understand.
I didn't
It's
say it's
not
good or
enough
bad. I
revenue.
just say
He's
what these deals
coming
are going to look
down.
like.
He's coming down from his
I think the
tariff.
market knows it, and I think the market just has kind of closed the chapter on tariffs for now.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. And that's that. I am so glad you just said that because that's a beautiful thing. Okay. It just coincides to everything I've said on this podcast this morning. It's a done deal. So it's already priced in that it's a done deal. That's what you're saying. It's already moving on. New chapter. Chapter hasn't been written, my friend. Not even close.
So what is the next chapter going to look like? I
Who
mean, I have
knows?
my thoughts. What do you think?
I think he's going to push the can down the road. I think that he cannot get deals done at the levels that he wants to, and he's not signing a 20% deal with the EU. I just don't believe it. It's not enough for him. Dude, he's already tariffing the cars at 20%. So what does he need? Just keep tariffing. I don't think he needs to rush into a deal with anyone. And I don't know why he puts these time. Listen, the kick the can down the road was a Taco Bell special. It was King Taco.
Okay, so
He was
so there's going to
channeling.
be a taco situation. He's going to push it down the road. What happens after that? How
What
does
do
the
you mean?
market react?
He's going to push it down the road again. And at some point, the market's going to wake up and realize that deals are going to be harder to come by. Listen,
So
don't
I look
you
at it
think?
a
Let me
little
ask
bit.
you
I
a
look at it
question.
a little bit differently. I look at
Well,
it a
let me
little bit
ask you.
differently.
Okay, you can look at it any way you want. I mean, listen, you know that there's no Japan trade deal unless they did it in one day, okay, which would be kind of crazy, okay, because 2 days ago, the guy came out and basically said Japan is screwed and they're not negotiating and they're not negotiating in good faith, blah, 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 blah. So, how are they going to do a comprehensive trade deal with Japan as well as China and every other country in the next 4
They're not.
days?
We know that. The market knows
Okay.
that too.
So then they're going to push it down the road. Okay. And then when we get down the road, whenever that is, he's going to push it down the road again. And then you're going to be a year and a half into his presidency. There's a very good possibility.
All the while that he's kicking the can down the road, the tariff rates pretty much on average are going to be around 20 to 25%. Would you agree? Something like that?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I went out to breakfast, lunch actually, with a guy who owns a manufacturing business in the United States, gets product from China, etc. He has no idea what's going on. He doesn't even know what he's being tariffed. He doesn't know. No idea. No idea. So he doesn't know what to do. And basically, by kicking the can down the road, no one knows what to do. Okay. No one knows what to do. And I mean, I don't know. Trump seems to be
Nobody knows
mad.
what to do. So they're
Trump,
left with,
Trump
hey,
seems to be
this is
mad.
usual. Moving on.
Trump seems to be mad at everyone. Okay. So, the bottom line is, I don't know. We'll see. I just think
So
everything is priced for perfection. You just said it on this podcast that basically the tariffs are meaningless. They don't mean anything. Okay. So if all of the things that we're
for
looking
now,
at,
they will. They
okay.
will
Well,
because
why
I think
will
there's
they? Why will they? Why will they? Why
if you
will
give
they?
me a chance to say it, I will.
I want to know. Why?
All right. Because I think there's a lag effect to tariffs. I think the market has rallied a lot because they look at these CPI prints and they're like, hey, everybody had this wrong. There's no inflation effect. What they're not seeing is that there is, but there's a lag to it. They're not seeing companies covering up the cost of the higher costs. A lot of companies are eating cost, so the public isn't really, and you see that with the PPI higher than the CPI. So margins are going to come down. The investment public just isn't seeing it yet in the data. Commodities, as you know, are ripping. Okay, there's a lag effect to the CPI report with that. So what I think is going to happen is, as tariffs, as he does these trade deals, it's not going to matter. But when it does matter is when the public starts seeing a couple of those hot inflation prints, which I think is going to come at the end of this quarter, which matches weak seasonality, and it's going to put the Fed up against the public, just like in 2018, and it'll be ironic, almost Shakespearean. It's going to be Powell against Trump, just like in 2018, and Powell against Trump as Powell is walking out the door, which is going to add an extra layer of intrigue on that. But I don't think the Fed is going to be in a position to cut rates at all at the end of the year. And right now, the market is pricing in 50 basis points.
So why? But my question is, if the number came out hot today, okay, and the Fed can't cut. And now the July cut, which was priced in some way, a little bit more than what the market was saying. Okay. And now you're saying they're not going to cut all year. Okay. And you think there's a big battle between Powell and Trump. I don't, I mean, Trump,
At the
Trump
end of the
wants,
year. Yeah.
listen to me. Trump wants lower interest rates just because he wants lower interest rates. Okay. He doesn't know why. He doesn't care about economic data. He doesn't care about, what the economy is doing. He just wants lower rates because it's the buzzword and people told him you need lower rates. Okay. And you need lower rates to finance the massive debt that's about to come. So all of that is true. But when
Well, he's
you're,
a real estate guy. Of course, he wants lower rates.
dude, can I ask you something? And I'm being dead serious. Okay. What president in the world ever talked about the market or rates? I mean, come on. You think
Nixon,
Barack Obama was going, hey,
Nixon.
hey, Greenspan, cut rates. Hey, Bernanke, cut rates. You're a maniac. You're doing the wrong thing. The president
I
should
think
not
Nixon
care
did,
about
right?
that.
Nixon went after his guy,
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
sure he did. Okay, whatever you say. Show me the tapes, as they say. Show me the proof. There is no president since we've been around that talked about interest rates or cared about interest rates. They cared
I
about
know.
running the country. Why does
There
Donald
you go.
Trump
I
care
agree
where
with
the
you.
rate is? It's a bizarre thing.
100%.
It's
It is.
and any president coming from now on after him, because he's gone at the end of this, okay, is not going to care about rates. They're not going to care. The Fed is an independent body doing their job, doing what they do. What Donald
Did you
Trump
see?
thinks or wants is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's dumb.
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
market we're in. Okay. He can, what's funny? On a Wednesday, he can curse out the Fed governor. Okay. You don't hear him. I don't see any tweets today saying lower rates. Okay. So he called him an idiot after the last number or whatever.
You
I
know
mean,
the
come
new
on.
nickname he has for Powell? Did you see this?
What?
Did you see the new nickname he has for Powell?
No, I don't know.
He calls him Too late Powell. I
Whatever.
think that's great. I
Listen,
actually think that's
it's
great.
very, very bizarre. Honestly,
That's a great nickname, though.
what is going on in the market? It's bizarre. Like, why does the president want lower rates? Why does he care? Like, it has no impact on his job. Whether rates and what he doesn't understand is, yeah, he wants lower rates. The Fed funds are 4.25, 3.75. So he goes to 3.5 or 3.25. That's making the difference in anything. I mean, come on, Eric. It's craziness. It's just I'm surprised I'm waiting for him to go ballistic. He's been so mellow for at least a few weeks here. So something's coming down the pipe. And listen, there are countries out there. You think all these countries are going to lay
You
down?
mean like a shadow Fed president?
No, I'm talking about countries and tariffs. I don't
Oh, okay.
know about a
I
shadow.
thought you were going to say that you think he's going to announce Powell's replacement pretty soon. I thought that's what you were getting at.
I'm not even 100% sure Powell is out. How do you like that? That's how, dude, he put Powell in. It was his selection. He didn't get someone
Isn't
else.
that crazy? Yeah,
So,
100%.
but it's ridiculous because he can't cut rates. You see the numbers. You see what's going on. We
Yeah.
haven't even had any impact
I
of
don't think
tariffs.
anybody's seeing the numbers yet. I think they're seeing the numbers and they're like, oh, Powell should have a green light to cut rates because they're seeing inflation close to Fed target and they're seeing no effect on inflation and tariffs. But what they're not seeing is what's coming up in 2 to 3 months.
Listen, I honestly don't know what's going on here. It's just every single dude. What was the low on the Nasdaq? 16,000. Oh, Thomas, I thought was behind me. He's not here. Low on the Nasdaq was like 16,000. It's up like 7,000 points. It's up
Yeah.
almost 40%, and no one wants to sell a share of anything. Friend of mine's long Palantir from 70, it went to 120, went to 150, didn't sell a share. Now 130 won't sell a share. And the last time we went down during this tariff stuff, it went back to 70. He lost his entire profit. So what I'm saying to you is nobody's selling. And that's a scary thing. Robinhood, if you bought it at 50, it's 92. You know who's selling? Nobody. Nobody's selling at any level. So I'm a little bit nervous. Dollar, you're very confident on the dollar. I think the dollar looks horrendous. Absolutely. I'm in it. And I just hope I don't get stopped out and the sentiment changes, but it looks horrendous. I mean, the
Well, I'm
dollar,
looking for the euro. I'm looking for the euro to hit 116. Is that unreasonable?
I hope it hits 116. Then I'll
There
be
you
up
go.
money. But
I think you
do I
will. I
think it's
think you'll.
unreasonable? What's gonna make it happen? That's the only thing.
Well, you see, I don't look. The narrative has been what deglobalization. People have less demand for the dollar in U.S. Treasuries, and I think that's true. I think it's a true narrative. Uh, but because of the law and principle of mean reversion in the market, and because I think the dollar has like the last leg of the dollar down, I think has been pushed lower by U.S. rates going lower. If that starts to reverse, that relationship may pick the dollar up a little bit, enough to get the euro down to around 116.
All right. I mean, dude, if it goes to 116, it's probably seed chain goes lower, but right now we're not there. So we're running deep. It's been a good podcast. I think you've been kind of mellow, which I appreciate. You've been good today. Must mean you're not up money yet. If you were up money, you'd be
I'm up.
much
I'm up.
more aggressive. So I like this
No,
area.
I feel bad. I feel bad for you because the market keeps going up, and you know I love you. So
What do you mean? Go look at my ETF if I'm down money,
it's
and watch
not.
what
That's what
and
I'm
watch
saying.
what
Your
happens with
ETF
it
is
today.
doing good,
And
but
watch what happens with it today, dude. I have not been right, but we have not lost a lot of money, which is
because
good.
you're a great,
And
you're a legendary trader, my
no, I'm
man.
not.
That's why I love you.
Dude, I'm
You
trying
are.
to come on it. No, I'm dude, you're not getting it. It's simple. And I keep coming on here and it's funny. I say things that you're getting tidbits that are freaking unbelievable and you just brush over them. And all I'm telling you is it's money management and risk management. I I don't nobody knows where only
You don't.
you know
I
where
agree with you. You don't
only
have to
you know
convince.
where the market's going every day. I don't know where the market's going. I have an opinion. No, seriously, I have an opinion. I use I use something that I taught you, okay, which is using options to give yourself leeway
That
when
was
you're
huge.
wrong, okay?
Yeah, you
And
did. I'm definitely giving you credit for opening up the options door in my life. That was
well,
a great.
listen, everybody is afraid of options, and options are
They
the
are.
greatest.
They are.
Listen, in the newsletter business, I have a market newsletter, obviously, and in the newsletter business, I have to dance around and go, I know options are really risky. Options are so less risk than anything out there. They're defined risk. If you buy Robinhood right now, you have defined risk of $90. Okay. My defined risk is set up any way I want. I could have positive defined risk if I do enough trading. So anyway, we'll get more into that. I just want to close up. Bonds got to a 435 yield on the 10-year. As you say, that's the line in the sand for me. If it goes the other side of that, we're hitting 450, and I think that that's going to come into play here. Um, Oil had a very good move yesterday. We were loving that 65 level. It went to it's 67 and a half on a downtick. So, that picked up a little. Gold, we do not like gold. It's bounced a little. It was down 40. I am shorting gold again today. Um, I'll wait for bounces on that. S&P,
I'm just gonna
I
buy
would
a
be
dip.
I would be surprised if we don't see it come for sale, but they may want to market again for the 80th day. So you got to be careful there. And like the Nasdaq S&P looked interesting. I don't see a trade there. But I do see a trade in the DAX US. I want to be long DAX, short US. That trade really, really worked well. The DAX is up 20. Okay. DAX was up 24 when we were down 5. So that spread unwound and it doesn't have anything to do with the dollar. But anyway, we're running deep. I hope everybody got stuff out of the podcast. I think we gave some directional information, talked a lot about the numbers and the Fed, and I'm really, I was very nervous. I don't know why when I got on the podcast, but I'm not that nervous right now. I'm starting to feel a little edge of confidence. So anyway, there was no AMA tomorrow because of the 4th of July holiday. So we'll be back.
What's the schedule today for the people at home? When does the market close? When do the futures close?
Market closes at 1 o'clock for equities, and I think 1:15 for futures. And I don't think there's any after hours. There may be some stock after hours. I'm not sure, but I've been trading a lot of years, and I don't ever remember a half a day. So we're running that millennial market where they want to just buy big. They want to buy Bitcoin and go to the beach. So that's
Hey,
where
it's a
we're at.
109, man. Why not?
But we'll be back Monday. Look for a softer close today. If we get that, I may add to the shorts, just because we've had such an unbelievable move. So let's see how soft we close. Right now, it's a no add, no trade, but we'll look later. And we're 10 minutes out, so I want to give everyone time to get ready. Peace. Enjoy. Have a great 4th of July, everyone, and we'll be back Monday morning. Take care. Thank you, Eric.